Hello and welcome. You're watching Today in Parliament with me, Aishwarya, and here are the Parliament headlines. National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill and National Commission for Homeopathy Bill in Upper House's agenda. Union Minister Shripad Yeso Naik to move the bills for consideration and passing. Rajya Sabha to hold discussion on the working of 3 ministries. Member Tiruchi Siva to raise a discussion on the working of MSME ministry. Discussion also on the functioning of the Rural Development and Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Ministry. In Lok Sabha, Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2020 to be introduced. Legislative business pertaining to the budget of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh in lower house's agenda. Report of Committee on Empowerment of Women to be tabled. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu took stock of the situation in and around the Parliament House complex in the wake of coronavirus outbreak. The chairman went through the thermal scanning facilities available at the entry gate of the Parliament House. Earlier on Tuesday, Lok Sabha Speaker also reviewed the preparedness at Parliament. So those visuals there from Parliament complex, you can see Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu taking stock of the preparedness and the thermal screening facilities that are available at the complex in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak. Remember, there are about 137 cases of coronavirus in our country, and the government is taking all steps to ensure that the spread of coronavirus doesn't take place. Yesterday, Lok Sabha Speaker also reviewed the preparedness at Parliament complex. He also went through the entire complex to see what are the facilities that are there at the Parliament House complex to contain the spread of coronavirus in our country. So, the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha Speaker have made it clear that the House will continue the session, but at the same time making sure that the preparedness really is there in place. All right, our colleague Akhilesh Suman is now joining us on the phone line for more details. Akhilesh, we were seeing those visuals there from Parliament complex where we saw Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu taking stock of the situation as far as the preparedness is concerned with respect to coronavirus. And yesterday, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla had also reviewed the preparations and the thermal screening facilities available there. What more can you tell us?
That it is a really very grave situation and members are sensitive, and that is why whoever is entering the Parliament complex, everyone is going through thermal screening. I also have been screened thermally since many days. Prime Minister though has indicated that Parliament will not be adjourned. Parliament will go according to its own schedule. But it is the duty of the Chairman of Rajya Sabha and also a Speaker of Lok Sabha to take care of the health situation of the members, and not only members, also of staff, security personnel. Chairman is taking a stock of the things inside the Parliament complex, and he is trying to ensure that everything should be in place, because there are 2-3 things that is very important about hygiene, and whether you have proper facility of sanitizing your hand or not, that is also very important. And whether you are keeping a safe distance from each other, that is also part of sensitization of the members and whoever inside the complex. So I think it is very, very important occasion in this point of time,
Yes,
where members are also, raising concern that we should take utmost care, because this is the whole policy making body, the whole legislative body is sitting inside Parliament. So you have to be, extra sensitive, and you have to make members, staff feel that yes, Parliament is taking care of your health and the epidemic.
Absolutely. So making sure that every preparation is there in place as far as the situation of coronavirus is concerned and how to contain the spread of the virus. Akhilesh, you stay with us. We'll just come back to you because we also need to talk about the Rajya Sabha's legislative business for the day today. Union Minister Shripad Yeso Naik will move the National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill 2019 for further consideration and passing. This bill aims to provide for a medical education system that improves access to quality and affordable medical education and promotes equitable and universal health care that makes medical services accessible to all citizens. Union Minister Shripad Yeso Naik will also move the National Commission for Homeopathy Bill 2019 for further consideration and passing. The bill aims to ensure the availability of adequate and high-quality homeopathy medical professionals in our country. The upper house is also listed to hold a discussion on the working of 3 ministries. Members Tiruchi Seva will raise a discussion on the working of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Bhupendra Yadav is listed to raise a discussion on the working of the Ministry of Law and Justice. And Partap Singh Bajwa will initiate a discussion on the working of the Ministries of Rural Development and Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare. Let's go back to Akhilesh. Suman, Akhilesh, as far as the legislative business is concerned, we saw yesterday in the Rajya Sabha there was an extensive discussion on the working of the Ministry of Railways. And today, again, a discussion on the working of 3 ministries is listed, and also very important bills that have been, hanging fire for quite some time. National Commission for Indian System of Medicine Bill and the National Commission for Homeopathy Bill in the upper house's agenda today. How do you look at the day panning out in Rajya Sabha?
You're right, Aswarya, because we have been seeing that when there is disruption in the House, there is disruption and there are causes from the side of opposition. And Treasury benches also take care of it in a manner what it suits fit for them. But when the House is sitting for the business, legislative business, we are seeing that it's really interesting that House is sitting, and House is also sitting for some time longer than the normal schedule. So what I see that, today also, because the members are feeling that the legislative business should be completed, and when Prime Minister has indicated that we should give a message to the country that Parliament is not leaving its responsibility. Parliament is with the people, and if your Parliament is on, people also see that yes, Parliament is on, so we should not be in panic. And that today the whole packed business. Yes. Not only legislative business, but also discussion on the working of the ministries. And working of the ministry discussion are very essential as far as the opposition and people in general are concerned, because they want to know that how ministries have been functioning and what are measures that can be also taken to improve the functioning of the ministry. So, though it is not part of the budget, but it is part of the budget session, because before passing the budget, members and those whoever who are involved in the policy making wants to showcase the ministry's working, and also they offer their suggestion and they also invite, criticism. So it is very healthy tradition of democracy that in Parliament you also discuss the working of ministries. So I think the 2 ministries that are going to be discussed today, it is very important. The micro, small and medium enterprises and law and justice, they are very important. And
absolutely. So the budgetary proceedings as far as the legislative business is concerned is going on. But of course, this is the budget session of Parliament. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for all those updates there. And now a look at the legislative business as far as Lok Sabha is concerned. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will introduce the Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2020. The bill seeks to authorize the payment and appropriation of certain further sums from and out of the Consolidated Fund of India for the services of the financial year 2019-2020. Nirmala Sitharaman will also move that the bill be passed. The lower house is also slated to hold a discussion and voting on supplementary demands for grants, both for the state of Jammu and Kashmir and Union Territory. Discussion and working on the budget for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir for 2020-21 is also listed. And the Lok Sabha will also hold discussion on and voting on the demands for grants for the Union Territory of Ladakh for the year 2019-2020. And in other legislative business in the Rajya Sabha, several ministers will lay papers pertaining to their ministries. Let's take a look at some of them. Dharmendra Pradhan for the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Hardeep Singh Puri for the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Krishan Pal for the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. G. Kishan Reddy for the Ministry of Home Affairs. Nityanand Rai for the Ministry of Home Affairs. Vandana Chavan to lay on the table the third report of the Committee on Empowerment for Women on action taken on the 16th report on the subject Higher Education and Research and Development Prospects for Women. Members Bhupendra Yadav and P. Bhattacharya will lay on the table reports of the Committee on Public Accounts. And members Mansukh Sien and Abir Ranjan will present the first report of the Committee on the Welfare of Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes. And Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri will lay on the table a statement related to Airports Economic Regulatory Authority. And that is the wrap on this edition of Today in Parliament. Do stay tuned. The proceedings of the Upper House are going to commence at 11 a.m. Thanks so much for your time.